Realistically, yeah, gold trading can be an issue. I don't think it's going to be a big issue. How is the balance going to be at level 100, basically, right? Making a build in Diablo 4 is a much bigger decision than in Diablo 3. Quite excited to see how it's going to be.
So, Woody, I have a first question for you. I don't know. Say something in German.
Okay, das kommt jetzt sehr unvorbereitet, muss ich sagen. Aber wir können auch gerne das Ganze auf Deutsch machen, wenn du willst.
Yes! Nein, alles gut, alles gut. Ich möchte nur wissen. So, people, I know that Woody is he is German. He's German content creator. Also, like I'm Russian, but we both are streaming actually in English. But it's so I'm not used to hear you in German at all, and it's so weird for me to even kind of understand that you actually speak like your native language is German. Well, guys. Who? Here we go.
Yeah.
Woody is ultimate player. The guy who soloed the Ashava in the beta, the competitive gamer, the ultimate, one of the best, if not the best, world best Diablo 3 player, who is now going and joining and playing, will be playing Diablo 4. And, yeah, I prepared a couple of questions for you. Thank you so much for joining, but I have a rule. Look, here is one thing. As a content creator, I'm pretty sure that you also felt it. You also had this. We are kind of merging with our community. We think what is good for the game. Good for the game, something that is good for your community. But today, we're not going to talk about what is good for the game. Today, we're going to talk about what Woody, competitive player, one of the best players in the world, what he wants to be in the game, what he likes in the game, what he thinks is cool. For example, I want everyone to run in a chicken outfit everywhere, but a lot of people are telling me that this is not good for the game and that they will not add it to the game. But I want it. You can't take it away from me, and I will keep wanting it from the game. So basically, yeah, this is the setting. Forget about the chat. No one is helping. Forget about what people want, because I'm also checking your YouTube videos. I'm also seeing you really often. You are saying something like, "This is good. This is a positive change for the game. This is something that's nice for the game." But is it nice for you? What you like? Would you like to have it, or would you not like to have it? But to warm up, actually, I have like overall question. How you're preparing? I know that you will be doing some, I don't know, 110,000 hours stream on the launch, something like this. How you're preparing for the launch?
Least.
You as an awesome again, said 10,000 times competitive player, but well, what is your routine? You're gonna sleep 3 days before, then you're gonna, I don't know, do what?
Okay, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we have to unpack here. So, okay, let's start with the last point. So, how will I prepare? I mean, for the big launch stream, yeah, I mean, obviously I try to get enough rest. I try to get, a lot of stuff prepared so I don't have to worry about anything else, for a few days at least when the launch happens. So I get like, some stuff prepared for YouTube, etc., these kind of things. And obviously, enough like food and these kind of things. Yeah, outside of that, I don't really do like that much special for these big streams. So I just try to power through basically. And usually that works pretty well because I have fun and, there's a lot of hype. So it's not that bad to stay up for a long time, like 30 hours or something, at least once on the season start. So I've been quite used to that for the last seasons, basically. I always did that in D3 and I'm going to do that in D4 as well. Yeah, and I mean, all the other questions that you were asking about like what I would like to see in the game. I mean, I did make a pretty extensive feedback video. I'm not sure if you have seen that one.
No. I saw this one. No. This will be. Don't worry. I will ask exactly what you want to see in the game. No. We're not going here. This was just a base setting.
Okay, I see. All right. I thought you wanted to hear some specific points. Okay.
Do you have, what's your goal? What is your ultimate goal for the seasonal start? Not for the seasonal start, for the game start so far. We don't know about what will be there for the seasons, but for the game start, do you want to be first level 100, defeating level 100, you reaching level 100? Are you gonna completely skip all the cinematics, just rush through the game, or on release? What is your plan? What is your ultimate plan?
Yeah, I actually have a plan, yes. So yeah, my goal is I'm gonna start on hardcore. And yes, I wanna be the first on level 100 on hardcore. And I am planning to play solo. So we'll see if this is possible as a solo player, because groups have some big advantages. And I'm basically just betting on, not enough people making it alive to level 100 so that I have a chance to be the first. But yeah, this is the plan right now. I think I'm gonna be one of the most prepared people on Earth to actually execute that, and yeah, let's see if that will work out. I guess so. After if I achieve the first 100, I mean, this will be like a big target, and I will be very happy. I mean, there's other targets as well, such as like the Nightmare Dungeon pushing. So we'll have to see like how difficult that will be on the high end. So maybe we can also do something like a world first tier 100 Nightmare Dungeon or something. But yeah, the level 100 is probably the big one that I want to achieve.
So skipping all the cinematics. When are you gonna watch the
Yeah,
cinematics?
no cinematics. Yeah. Of course, no cinematics. I'm gonna rush through the story. Yes. I mean, I was gonna make like a second character and check all the story and the cinematics afterwards. So for the first character, I'm just like rushing, and then the second time we're gonna do a chill round. So that's the plan.
How do you think? What's making you so special? I know what's making you so special, by the way. But what do you think? What's making you world first? In in Diablo 3, in a lot of classes, in a lot of situations, you're one of the best players that there is. Why?
This is tough to answer, I guess. I mean, I think it just comes down to mindset. You have to have the right mindset for such a challenge, or like for this game in general, like if you want to be competitive. I mean, in Diablo 3, it's a lot about, perseverance. We have like, for example, the greater rift fishing in Diablo 3, and have to try and try again until you get the perfect run, but you also have to execute it perfectly when you get it. So there's like this combination of, the game knowledge, the attempting until you get the good RNG, and the actual mechanical skills and these kind of things. And for me, it's just like I try to just get the most out of the character that I have most of the time. So this is what I've been doing for years now in Diablo 3 with, solo pushing in particular. I always try to push it to the maximum possible. So it's just like my goal. I've always been doing these kind of things in other games as well, not just in Diablo 3. I always try to do difficult challenges. I always try to come up with some crazy ideas of how I can push it to the limit, basically. And this is just how I am. So this is just how it has developed now in Diablo 3 for me as a content creator, and how I'm also planning to keep going in Diablo 4. It's just a matter of mindset for the most part. And if you have your mindset on it, and you stick to it, like it's not just like trying to do like one run once and then you're done forever, right? So this is like a continuous progression, like I continuously learn new things about the game. Even in Diablo 3, after 10 years of playing the game, after 10,000 hours, I still learn new things. I still learn new strategies, and I try out new things like that other people cannot even fathom. Sometimes they're asking me like, why do you still play that game? Are you not getting bored or something? But for me,
I know this question.
yeah, exactly. But I always try something new, even though it's like the same old game basically. But there's another twist you can do, another build you can do, and for me, this just like adds so much value and so much, also that I learn basically, and this helps me to achieve these kind of things.
There is my answer to this question. You have one of the most incredible reaction time, or how you would say it, that I've seen. Because each time I'm watching your videos when there is something insane clear, and especially now with this Ashava video, when I watch there is 15 minutes fight, you haven't missed a single attack. A single attack. You were always not where always not where the monster was, and you're doing it pretty much in all the Diablo 3 clears. You have really good. You can focus. This is like the mindset. You can really focus on your goal, but you also have really good reaction. Because I, for example, can't. I will be distracted. I will be 5 minutes. I can hold it for 5 minutes, then I will be distracted, and a lot of people can't. And that's why this Ashava fight, it was like a dance. It was like an ultimate dance. Woody is dancing there around Ashava with the rogue. Zero issues.
Yeah, that's actually true. It's also yeah, this focus that I can have on like a run. You know, like I'm used to this from Diablo 3 with like the 15-minute greater rift push. So I'm very used to the like 15-minute, you know, attempt, for example. And just in general, like I can just like completely, you know, ignore everything else and just focus on the game. And I guess a lot of people might have some issues with that they are like getting easily distracted, or they can't really like, you know, stick to it, you know, for extended periods of time. So that's also like an ability that I have, I guess, which maybe comes from doing it for so many years. But I think in general, I've always been a bit like that. So, you know, I've always been like very intensely focused on the one activity that I'm doing and not really so easily distracted. So this has been the case like, in school or like, you know, in anything basically. You know, I was always like really like, yeah, in the moment basically. But yeah, I guess that definitely contributes as well. I wouldn't say that I have like the best reaction times. It's more like, for example, if you think about this Ashava fight, it's also that, yeah, I pre-plan a lot of things, you know, in such a fight, for example. Like if I know the fight, I can already predict, you know, what I need to do at one time, and I can press the abilities in the right order, you know, like it doesn't always have to be like a full reaction to what the boss is doing, but it can also be something that I'm expecting to happen in the next few seconds. I'm already preparing for it. So this is also how I play many times in Diablo 3 as well. Like, you know, I'm aware of the situation. I know what elites are present. I know what I'm fighting. I know what is coming next, and I can react to it just by waiting for it, basically.
That is really cool, and no, trust me, yeah, not everyone can do this. My mind is really off. Diablo is absolutely amazing game when you want to relax, because it is you can go this in a flow, and you are farming. You are even when you are pushing. My mind is easy going somewhere. Let's talk about I don't know what was there for breakfast, something like this.
I actually had breakfast. We had like pretty standard breakfast. I guess pretty large breakfast actually today. Yeah, like Nini and me made some breakfast together. We had like lots of like standard like cheese, salami, bread, some eggs, some yogurt. Yeah, kind of fancy today because we spent some time preparing it, but yeah, nothing super crazy, I guess.
Sweet. And so, I know that your favorite your favorite character is Rogue. That was clear from the very beginning. Even without the beta, that was the favorite character, Rogue. The best demon hunt in the world will be playing Rogue, and will be the best Rogue in the world. I also played Rogue, and I was actually incredibly surprised. My favorite character is Necromancer, but it's based not on the actual performance of the character. It's also just a fantasy love. It is the army of skeletons. You can't go away from the army of skeletons. It's amazing. But by playing Rogue was amazing. Rogue felt absolutely amazing. My second favorite character. It just feels great. Just feels really awesome. But if not Rogue, if the mighty Woody would have to spend the whole season playing one character, what would you play?
My second most favorite option is actually a druid. I really like the druid from Diablo 2, and I like the concept of like, you know, the shape shifting and the combinations you can do in D4 druid as well. So I think if I couldn't play a rogue at all, I would do druid. That's definitely the second class I'm gonna make, I think.
I actually did enjoy druid, even though that was weak. That was kind of weird.
I mean, they feel a bit weak early on, but you know, you always have to see that this is not really like the power level that we see in the beta is just like a snapshot of power, right? So we don't really know it's just gonna stay like this or it's gonna be really good later on. I actually expect Druid to be very strong down the line, and
I'm actually incredibly surprised that they did the changes. that they did the changes for the classes. UI, everything that was absolutely amazing, that was needed, fix the bugs, okay. But they already, even before the release of the game, they changed some of the skills, the balances. They went for something, they changed something. I was incredibly surprised. I thought they will just, no, like this will happen, but this will happen after the release, after some proper, I don't know, we will go at least to the end game, something like this.
Yeah, it's true. Like it's nice to see that they are already patching and thinking about the balance and doing some other tweaks. So the patch notes that they have shown are really good, I think, overall. So quite excited to see how it's gonna be, and of course it's gonna be a continuous process of balancing and other tweaks. So it's nice to see that they are actually reacting quickly.
Can you call one thing that you like the most? You personally, from the latest patch. What was the best? Obviously, the best one was that they changed the font. It was clearly the best one, the most important one. But I don't know, like the second, the most impactful thing there.
They did a lot of stuff with dungeons in general. So they made like more events, and they changed the backtracking and the reset button. So I actually like all these changes because it also seems like they are trying to tackle these issues, not just about the game balance and the classes and these kind of things, but also like more general topics basically. So that was really nice to see, and I think it's gonna make dungeons more exciting in general.
I also think that at least they will be faster. At least they will be like kind of not that repetitive effect. They're not gonna have repetitive effect. But okay, now the hell is burning, and a lot of people are discussing this reset button. It seems like a lot of people were pissed that they removed the reset button. A lot of people are happy. I know that I also think that it's a positive change for the game overall. There shouldn't be this reset button at all. Everyone, welcome to Diablo 3 previous seasons. In the previous seasons, we always were restarting the game. We were always relogging. Constantly relogging, and it was kind of fine. And welcome everyone. Now you're also gonna be, or everyone will be relogging if you wanna run the same dungeons over and over again. Basically. But
yeah, I felt like this was really bad. So just like resetting dungeon and just not even finishing the dungeon, but also like it's like this Anika's claim farm that people are doing, just like going through the first part of the dungeon, getting the 10 elites and moving out again. So this was obviously stupid. And I mean, realistically, I would not really expect this to be like a thing anyway in the final game, because you have a lot of other things to do. I think this was mostly because in the beta you were capped at 25, there was nothing to do. So you didn't farm the renown. You didn't go to the endgame difficulties to farm like nightmare dungeons and helltide and whatever. So realistically, it wasn't even such a big problem. But I think it's good that there's no reset button, and just to like prevent that whole problem in the future.
But you like to focus on the most efficient thing. What you will be doing?
Well, yes, but also I don't always like to do the most efficient thing when it turns out to be super boring or mind-numbing or something. So I mean, you know this also from like Diablo 3, right? So the most efficient thing is to farm paragons all day long, and it's also not something I do very much. So I usually do this like for like a few days at the start of the season, and then I just like completely ignore paragons forever. And similarly in D4, like I wouldn't really like to farm like the same dungeon over and over just because it's efficient. And again, I think in D4 there's going to be like so many things to do, especially at the start of the game or at the start of the season with like the renown system. You have to explore everything. You have to find the altars. That alone is going to keep you busy for days or even weeks. And then you can really think about how to like maximize your character in the end game. And it's going to have like a lot of stuff to do. Like that is like more exciting than just doing one thing over and over, which is pretty good, I believe. So yeah, for me, what I will do, I mean, I'm going to rush through the campaign because you have to complete the campaign once. So when the game comes out, we're going to do that first.
I can hear this. I can hear rush through the campaign.
Yes.
No.
Yes, and then as I said, I'm gonna enjoy the campaign on the second character, but not on the first. Yes, and yeah, then it's basically the renown grind. You have to make sure that you get all the 5 renown rewards in every region. So this is I don't know how long this will take. Probably like 20 dungeons in every region, and then like 20 side quests in every region, and at some point you're gonna be done, find all the altars, and then you're probably gonna be like close to level 100 already just on that, and then it's like some nightmare dungeon grind. So this is the plan for now, at least.
Okay. Look, we know like the game went gold. It took me a while to realize what does this mean, but well, yeah, they finished the developers of the game. Cool. How do you think? What are the things? I truly believe that they didn't share everything with us. We don't know actually how many other bugs they fixed. It's not everything that they fixed basically from the beta. They fixed also something else. But how do you think? Some in the future, long term, what are the fixes? What do you think should be also brought to the game or changed in the game? What is concerning for you? Something that can destroy the experience.
I mean, there's like a list of things that I made in my feedback document that says needs fixing. I think number one is
Fix hardcore
especially
completely.
Yeah, exactly. Hardcore is definitely one of those points. I mean, it doesn't concern most people, but there's definitely a certain like hardcore population that wants to enjoy the game, and I feel like in hardcore it has a lot of issues right now with potential exploits where you can just never die. So all that stuff needs to be fixed. Like you can log out in certain moments, or you can get invited by someone and then TP out from danger, or you can even task manager kill your game, and your character stays alive even though it's already dead, and these kind of things. So that is obviously a really huge problem.
I saw it, and as from my understanding, this is an easy fix. This is something that can
maybe.
your character is not dying. I assume in a game development, if you're developing hardcore mode, it's kind of relatively easy fix. Just keep the character dead.
Yeah, maybe, but that depends on like how they coded, the stuff internally. So who knows? Maybe it's easy fix, maybe not, but it certainly needs to be fixed. So yeah, this is number one, I guess. But outside of that, something that affects everyone, I think they could like add general quality of life features a little bit, like search bars, at least for PC users. I think for example, the UI is like too much. Like there's too many concessions that they made for console players that also affect PC players. And I don't see much of a reason to kind of keep exactly the same UI for both versions of the game. So they can definitely make some adjustments. And I don't think anyone playing console would be mad about it, that PC has some more quality of life features. So this would be something, I guess. Yeah, there's some other things as well that can change, of course. But I mean, overall, I think the gem tab, yeah, sure. Like personally, this is nothing that I'm really worried about. But I know that a lot of people would like to have some extra space in inventory, so why not?
Woody, but I believe you need the ear tab. You need the special tab for ears, specifically for Woody.
Yeah, I need a whole ear stash, I think. Yes.
We were already talking about, damn it, they need to do a notification. Woody entered the PvP zone, everyone out. They need a notification. This is the quality of life change that we all need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna like pre-order a few more accounts so I can stash ears on the extra accounts as a mule.
Guys, he has a plan. Run, everyone. But the game will be released for us. For you, it's also 1 a.m.
Yeah, it's gonna be like in the night in Europe, right?
God damn it, Europe.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, so be it. It's just the first day, so it doesn't matter much.
Yeah. But it's actually concerning that maybe the seasons will be also starting at this time, and it's really, really scary.
Oh yeah, that might actually happen. That's true. So we don't know if this is gonna be like the time basically for forever, right? Since it's gonna be global launches now and not the regional launches like we're used to from Diablo 3. So maybe they're gonna go at the same times. But realistically, I would expect them to launch the seasons more on a Western time scale, basically, right? So this is not really good for Europe. It's pretty good for NA, but they can also launch it in the morning in NA and then in the evening in Europe, basically, so that people have more time.
They're focusing on American, and they're focusing on Asian server, so to say. So in Asia, it's early in the morning. It's also kind of good for Asian people, so to say, for this part of the world. And we are in the middle, and yes, in Europe we are cursed. I don't see that they will be highly possible. This will be like this. The only thing that we can do is move at this point.
You have any plans to move?
Maybe. I always have plans to move. Maybe. At
Where
some
you want to go?
point. I don't know, actually. Asia would be absolutely not bad, would be a good solution. With me, with my documents, it's so crazy. No, for now, I'm staying in Germany. For now, I'm trying to get the German passport. All the Germans, also you can run. Anna will be German. And after we'll get the German passport, nothing can stop me.
Yeah, then they can go everywhere easily.
Yeah, theoretically, I can apply, like in the end of this year or in the next year, I can apply for German citizenship. So scary, scary. I will be also German.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, kinda. We know that. Oh, hi. So we know that there will be tomorrow an interview. What a surprise! There will be tomorrow an interview, and absolutely accidentally, super accidentally, Rod told us that there will be a big secret announcement, which will be cow level. After you posted that it will be cow level, absolutely the whole chat every day, like today, the chat is constantly telling me that this is a cow level. It's gonna be cow level. They're gonna announce the cow level. It's gonna be a cow level. Well, on a serious note, because we all know that cow level is not existing. Even if cow level is existing, I will accept cow level only if Rod will be voicing the cow king. Either way, it's not a cow level. What can they announce? What do you think? Can we speculate at this point? What can they announce? Because what I was thinking, maybe they will announce the date of the first seasonal start. They said that it will launch within weeks after the actual release. Can we expect something like this?
Yeah, someone also mentioned that in my chat already earlier, and I think that's not even that unlikely. I think that is maybe something they would announce. I don't think it would be really like something in game that they would announce, basically. Because like we've probably like heard most of the stuff that they want to share already from the end game, from the classes and all these things. Like people are saying like new class or something. Like obviously this is not happening, right? It's something like this is like way too big to just randomly announce like 5 weeks before launch. So yeah, something like the first season start date, maybe, especially since they already said that the game is basically ready with like Diablo 4 has gone gold and these kind of things. I also didn't know that term, by the way, so it was the first time I heard that. But yeah, maybe something like that. I would definitely expect it to be something outside of the game, or not directly tied to game content at least. So
a lot of people are also saying that they will announce the new class. They will announce the new class, the first expansion class. Guys, they will not.
Yeah, this is not happening anytime soon, I think.
I also don't think so. How do you think, are they going to delay the seasonal start? Also, like, one of the concerns that they're going to delay the seasonal start. They're not going to delay the game start, no way, because they actually, Blizzard never, in the history of Blizzard, they never delayed the game start after the official announcement. But they can delay the seasonal start.
They could, but I don't really see the reason to. Like, I think they want to keep it, pretty close to launch. I think they've already learned the lesson from Diablo 2 Resurrected, where the first season started after like half a year or something, and all the hype was gone, all the momentum was gone, everyone had quit, and yeah, they definitely do not want to repeat that same thing again. So I think realistically, we're not even going to see that much updates between launch and season 1. I think they're just trying to get the server stable, do like maybe a balance pass or two, and then implement like the first season 1 features and stuff like this, and then ship it. So realistically, I think most of that is already ready, and we're just gonna get it, after a few weeks.
This is my ultimate question. They promised that the seasons will be big, the features will be big. What are you gonna release on the first season? Come on, what can be there? What is your big ultimate feature? Actually, no, this is actually the question for you. Leaderboards. Coming in the seasons, highly possible not with the first season, but eventually maybe coming. Leaderboards are coming. Where do you want to have a leaderboard? Where would you like to have the leaderboard?
I mean, they can do many different types of leaderboards, I think. So the one obvious choice, I guess, has to do with Nightmare Dungeons, So this is gonna be like the ultimate end game challenge, I guess, where it's a bit similar to Greater Rifts. You can do some kind of leaderboards for that, for like each dungeon or so. A bit like how it works in World of Warcraft maybe would be a solution, where basically every Mythic Plus dungeon gives you like a score, and then you have like a combined score of all of them, or something like that. So there are some options like that, I believe. And then you can also make conquests. I think conquests in Diablo 3 have worked relatively well, at least in the early seasons. And if they do something similar like that in D4, this could be pretty cool, where you have like a certain like a quest, so to say, or like a certain target, and like the first 1,000 people or first 10,000 people or something to achieve that objective, they get on the leaderboard basically, and they can do like 100 different objectives like that, and have leaderboards for all kinds of things, I guess. But yeah,
But
obviously we would expect leaderboards starting in season 1, and I think they have said that they will make them for season 1, and potentially gonna also expand on it over time.
Wait. What they said?
Yeah.
Tell me again.
I believe they have said that they're gonna make leaderboards starting with seasons. So not on launch, but in seasons. So
Yeah. But I don't know. In the interview that when I was talking with them, I had a feeling they said nothing exactly. Okay, that's we're starting it from season 3 or we're starting it from season 1. But I got a feeling that it's not happening from the first season. Maybe I'm mistaken. That's because they want to like put it. They want to put a careful thought in the whole this idea of the leaderboard. They don't want people to see Woody on rank 1 on the leaderboard and everyone to just copy your build.
I mean that depends on like how exactly they implement the leaderboards.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. That's why they put.
It could also be,
thoughts on this.
if you remember in the early seasons in Diablo 3, we also didn't see each other's builds. That was only introduced later. So maybe they're gonna have secret builds, or again, like maybe the leaderboard types or the objectives are not exactly really tied to a certain build, right? So I don't think there's really this much risk of people copying builds and these kind of things. Making a build in Diablo 4 is a much bigger decision than in Diablo 3, where it takes 5 minutes to make a new build, and in Diablo 4 it takes like many hours to even get anywhere. So I wouldn't really expect people to just copy each other's builds all the time.
They will, but it will be just difficult. It will be more difficult. Maybe. But yeah, but you personally, what do you want? Do you wanna rush to level 100, or do you wanna complete level 100 dungeon, or do you wanna have PvP arena? I don't know, and kick everyone there, and some PvP leaderboard to have some PvP leaderboard based. The great player Woody, where do you want to see the leaderboard? What would be the most interesting for you?
It's hard to say. I think I would definitely enjoy Nightmare Dungeon leaderboards. Similar to Diablo 3, Greater Rift pushing. I mean, this is also what I've been doing there all the time. And I think that, trying to push to the highest tiers in Nightmare Dungeons is going to feel quite similar with like this kind of like slow-paced, tactical gameplay, trying some very difficult content. I think that can be very fun. Obviously, I would love to have all kinds of leaderboards. As I said, like conquests, maybe PvP leaderboards. They could do all kinds of things, and at least in the long run, I would also expect them to add more stuff into the game over time.
So PvP arena, where I will not go, but I will watch.
Yeah, arena could be fun, I guess. Maybe if there's like some kind of established PvP meta that is like relatively balanced, which I don't really see happening, but maybe it could be quite fun. Yeah, but this is gonna be quite tough to achieve. I think that in Diablo 4 we're gonna see such crazy builds that there's not gonna be that much balance in PvP, and having like an arena system is probably not working too well, because people would expect some kind of fairness in that. And I think what makes PvP good or what will make Diablo 4 PvP good is that there's always like this kind of like, it's a different scenario every time, right? You don't know who you're meeting. You don't know who else is there, if there's going to be like multiple people, if there's going to be monsters. And, it kind of like creates these like naturally imbalanced situations where the power of your build is not necessarily the only deciding factor, compared to like an arena mode, where imbalance between builds is just gonna be very obvious.
My personal, the person who is not playing PvP, but anyway, my personal concern about the PvP right now in Diablo 4, look how I see it, how it's gonna be. there will be a couple of teams, 4 players plus 4 players, for example 8 people. They will be camping around the altar, and they will be holding the altar. Yeah, they can do it forever, but these situations will be happening. And since you can just invite, basically you can bring your friends to the same realm. So yeah, those 8 people can easily hold the altar, and everyone else who will be trying even to go there and who will be even trying to to do this thing with the altar, they are automatically losing basically.
I mean, I can definitely see that issue that people are trying to camp it or trying to group up and like just farm everyone who's around. I also don't really like that you can group up in PvP zones, but I guess we'll have to see if it's going to become a problem or, you know, how much griefing there's going to be. Basically, realistically, I don't see it as such a problem because it's probably going to be quite boring for people trying to do that, like trying to camp the altar and wait for someone to walk in or something. So I don't think it's going to be such a concern.
Oh, I already have the strategy. Come with 3 people, or I don't know, 2 people really geared, staying there on the altar. 2 others are farming monsters around. Then you are switching. Come on, I have a strategy how to farm there. But I am not going to the PvP zone. I'm too scared.
No, we're just gonna make you like the most overpowered build, and you just one shot the entire party. It's fine.
Invite Wudijo to your party, yes. Then do whatever.
Yeah, sure.
One of the major concerns that I'm hearing about the game is trading. Here we go. And in particular, there is gold trading available. What do you think? What will happen with the gold trading and in Diablo 4?
Yeah, a lot of people expect that it's gonna be like flooded by bots and like, you know, third-party sites trying to sell gold and these kind of things. I mean, that will depend on like how important it is actually to have a lot of gold. Realistically, like even with the respec
No, it
costs
seems
that
like
people
it
are,
is really important because everything
Yeah.
has really really high costs.
yeah, it seems like everything has a high cost, but on the other hand, are you really gonna spend all that gold that you're gonna farm? That's the question. Like, if you don't respec all the time, you just need to imprint your aspect sometimes, and you also get more gold as you go to higher levels. So how is the balance gonna be at level 100, basically, right? How fast can you farm gold? Do you actually need to, you know, buy gold hypothetically or something? And I don't think that's really the case. I don't think we're really gonna be like so starved for gold unless you're like spending it, you know, on you know, useless choices all the time, basically. So that remains to be seen. But realistically, yeah, gold trading can be an issue. I don't think it's going to be a big issue. And yeah, maybe some people will get like a slight advantage from doing that or so. But yeah, we'll see, I guess, how it plays out. And I think also Blizzard has said that they are willing to make adjustments to the trading system in case, you know, there's going to be issues or they feel like they need to change something. So they might also disable gold trading and just allow item trading, for example, or so. That might also be an option. So who knows?
Rare items.
Yeah, rare items can be traded, yes. I think that's fine. I think rare items being tradable is fine, and legendaries being not tradable, with legendaries being like generally better than rares, is a pretty good solution.
But no, there is one way. If you are getting really really good rare base, you can sell it, blah blah blah, and you can change it. And as far as I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, but we are going on a higher difficulties, world tier 2 3 blah blah, so higher difficulties after we are reaching level 50. And there we're starting getting sacred items and ancestral items, and they're also dropping in a quality of normal blue, and also they're dropping in rare quality, which will have higher stats, which will be again tradable because they're rare items.
Yes.
And this maybe can be the problems, but yeah, well, who knows? We will see how it will be in the game. Because yeah, if those super duper rares on the high levels will have really good bases, and you can sell them on a particular websites, then you will be buying them. No, people will be buying them.
Yeah, maybe, but it seems like rare items only come with 3 stats, and I believe the same will apply to Sacred and Ancestral. So I think rare items will always just be worse than legendary items, basically, because you can only have 3 stats. So it will be relatively easy to kind of like set up a new build or set up a new character with rare items with the the right 3 stats, basically, because it's also cheap to reroll them at the occultist. So you can have like the 3 perfect stats, but you cannot have the 4th stat, and you also cannot have like the highest item power. So there will be some disadvantages compared to finding your own loot as legendary. So realistically, yeah, it's kind of nice,
be the
I think,
problem.
that you can trade these rares. And if it stays like that, if you can only have 3 stats on a rare item but 4 on a legendary, you will always be forced to farm your own gear later down the line. Even if you can start maybe faster with the bought items or so. So if that is like the system that they're going with, I really like that actually, because it allows you to have the freedom of switching stuff around, of trying some other stuff, but you still always need to do the grind.
And the pain of Diablo 2 players? Open trade. Ultimate open trade.
Yeah.
Would you go for
I
this?
mean,
Would you like to have it?
we're living in the 21st century, so no open trade these days. This is not happening, guys.
Okay, okay. Look, we you played a lot. I played a lot. Everyone in chat played a lot Diablo 4, and everyone is hyped for this game, and everyone is really, really waiting for this game. How do you think? Is there something already? Have you seen there already something that that's a complicated question, that in the future other games will be copying, that is so good and so cool that other games will try to copy it and will try to do the same? Will Diablo 4 set in a benchmark somewhere in the RPG world?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's multiple things that potentially new RPGs or even others that exist that are getting continuously developed might take a look at. I think especially the combat is something that Diablo 4 is doing really well. Like the pace of combat, the way that the monsters interact, the way that monsters are grouped up with like multiple monster types and multiple abilities, and they all work together. You can definitely feel the difference in combat compared to other RPGs. So it's generally just like walk, and you have like very very short fights, like you just like one shot stuff, or they one shot you or something. And in D4, it's like a lot more like back and forth, a lot more tactical, a lot more like this dodging around with the evade ability. So this is something that I have not seen in other RPGs. I know the evade ability, for example, from like Dark Souls or Elden Ring or something. And whenever I was playing Diablo 4, I always had this a little bit of a feel like I was playing Elden Ring, like with the evade ability. So I really enjoyed that actually. And in general, I think this is definitely like the one thing that people will try to kind of like get to basically in the future, because this is done really well in Diablo 4. And I think it's also what we see, for example, with the development of Path of Exile 2. If you have seen the trailers from like 3 years ago or so when they announced it, the gameplay that they have shown for Path of Exile 2 was way slower, way more tactical, and very much like what we saw in Diablo 4 actually. So I think they were also already like preparing for such a move back then, because they knew that in order to have like engaging, exciting combat, you can't just blow up entire screens, one shot all the time basically. And a lot of people actually seem to enjoy exactly that part of Diablo 4. Yeah, aside from that, we'll see, I guess. I mean, the open world concept might be something coming back to other games in the future if people really like that. It doesn't have to be like this multiplayer open world, but just open world in general is definitely something relatively new for RPGs, I guess, as well. You might see more of that.
Good.
Yeah,
But at
and
the same time, it feels emptier in a good Diablo style. So like there are not so many people running around.
yeah, exactly. So I also like that you don't see so many people, but sometimes you have like these events and you find some people there, or like the world bosses, and that's okay. I'm generally more on like the solo self-found front basically myself. So I would like to have like my own world, but it's okay the way it's handled in D4, I guess. But in general, I think open world just as a concept is probably gonna make a return in other games in the future.
Oh yeah, you like events where people are appearing on the last 2% of the world boss. There are people appearing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean that's a funny incident, I guess.
That was great. That was absolutely great. I I agree. Solo self-found mode, solo self-found mode. I know that a lot of people would be really, really happy to have it. I personally don't think that they will implement it or even ever add it, just because it's going against the whole idea of this together, we are going together with the... We're socializing in a Diablo game, it's a social game, so to say. That's why I don't think that they will ever add it. I do understand that a lot of people really, really want it. How do you think? Will there be the day when you will be really, really happy and there will be solo self-found mode, or solo self-found leaderboard, or something, some indicator that the person, was trading or not trading?
I think yes, actually. Like they don't have to make like a dedicated like solo self-found mode where you have like your own server and your own world, I think. But just something simple like, the person has never grouped, the person has never traded. Like these two, if you can somehow like, verify those two conditions, basically, I think this would already be kind of enough to make like unofficial solo self-found possible and have our own like solo self-found competitions, our own solo self-found community and stuff like that. And this should be a relatively easy thing to introduce as well. That doesn't really go against the philosophy of the game. So some people are just like, they just live solo self-found basically, right? They don't want to do all this group stuff, and that's totally fine. But I think there should be like some kind of recognition of that player base, and it could be done relatively easily.
I know, but just as I said, I think it's going just against the idea, and that's why they're not adding it, because I also think that it's easier kind of to add, but if it's going against the whole what you're trying to achieve in the game, to create a social experience, you will just not add it.
Yeah, but it also seems like they are generally open to these kind of, community ideas. So, for example, we see this right now in World of Warcraft. I'm not sure if you have been following this, but in WoW Classic, people are playing like this hardcore mode now, where they cannot die, and I think you also have to like play it solo all the way to level 60 or something. And this is like it's literally an MMO, right? And people do stuff like that. And there's actually like there was actually a tweet from Mikey Barra like asking if they should add something like this as an official mode, So in general, it seems like they are open to this concept. And maybe not so much in D4, but maybe this will come over time, maybe not right on launch, but maybe down the line it's gonna be like, more demand for solo self-found in some way. So who knows?
They are listening to the community. I hope they will give up eventually. I'm for everything that is making more people happy. So if the people who want to play solo self-found, they should have this. There are people who want to play solo self-found, they should have this. There are people who want to play PvP, they should play PvP, even though.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
I mean, you have to see that another philosophy that they have in Diablo 4 is also this kind of like, freedom, right? Just play your way, do whatever you want kind of thing. So I think this would go also in that direction that, okay, it's like an MMO type, open world with other people running around and trading. But some people don't want to do that, and they can give you the option to not do that, basically. So I don't see why not.
Okay. Then I have the most important questions for you. Like the most important questions for you. Carefully. Rimsdale, so Ponyland in Diablo 4, yes or no? Do you want? Do you want? I don't care that everyone is saying that Ponyland shouldn't be there. Do you want Ponyland?
It would be hilarious if it's like, very, very rare or very, very optional or something. I don't want to see it like, too often, but yeah, why not?
Okay. You all heard. Ponyland, we are adding. And then the most important question of all. Team Inarius or Team Lilith? Carefully.
For me, that's Lilith.
What?
Team Lilith.
Yes! Yes! We got him! Good! That was the correct question. That was the correct answer. Guys, he's Team Lilith. We have the best world player in Team Lilith. Wudi, thanks so much.
I mean, you have seen my starting screen on my stream, right? That I had for like the last
you have the Lilith. I
have
the skull. Oh, wait, let me ask you the lower question. Where is Diablo? How Diablo will come back? When we're gonna see... Why Lilith is carrying a scalp? Who killed Ratma? Is it Inarius or it's actually, or it was Lilith? But it looks like it was Inarius. Have you
Isn't
watched
that
the cinematic?
answered in the Act 1 campaign?
But there was no, like, actually the moment when he's hitting, when he's throwing the spear, and even though Inarius is a really, really bad person, but still, you know, like, kind of, it's so hard to imagine that it's his son. Ratma is his son, and he's an angel who supposedly he has there something good, and he should understand that killing his son is not the most angelic thing to do. And that's why I have a little bit hope that he didn't kill him. But no, yeah, that was kind of clear.
I think it was pretty obvious from what we saw in the trailer.
Yeah, but just...
And also, not every angel is necessarily, you know, a good angel.
Yep.
So, especially Inarius seems like someone who, you know, really doesn't care about what anyone else does and what anyone else thinks of him. So, yeah, I don't really see why he wouldn't.
Okay, guys, Woody even knows something about the lore. We can save him. It's okay.
I mean, it did play through the campaign like 5 times or something in the beta now. So I wasn't skipping the cutscenes all the time. So Act 1, I know, yeah.
Thank you so much. You can now ask me something. Thank you so much for joining me. Oh my gosh, I'm still really scared.
Well, I mean, I would also like to know, like, what is your plan? Like, what are you gonna do when the game launches? And like, maybe
I'm gonna be swearing really, really a lot that it's starting at 1 a.m. I already see this. I'm gonna be really complaining about this. Also, I don't think I'm the one who will be watching the cinematic, and I'm the one who is planning to till the seasonal start. In the spirit when the game will just launch, I will watch the goddamn cinematic. I'll finally know the story, what is going on, and yeah, I will go slower. I don't have the goal to be the world first 100. I hope that I will reach 100 on Necromancer, because Necromancer will be my first character, and then my second character will be Rogue, and then maybe Sorceress or Druid. I haven't decided, and the worst one is Barbarian, but you guys haven't heard this one. And yeah, he's powerful, but it's just boring. Anyway, so yeah, my plan is to go more in a casual way before we have the seasons, and just explore all corners of this game and see what it has, and then we will see. Yeah, actually, I'm always saying on stream, Tak, I saw everything. I saw it.
Uh-oh. That's needy.
I forgot what I was about to say. Yeah, so basically what I'm always saying on stream, that we actually don't know that much about the seasons. We don't know that much about the seasons. They're not saying that much info about the seasons. What will be the theme, even when the seasons will start? Are they actually adding the leaderboards? They just said that the seasons will be big. Does this mean that, how big? What does this mean, big? Big can mean a lot of things, yeah.
I think that we have definitely a bit of like a point of reference if you look at PoE again. I'm not sure how familiar you are with PoE, but I think it's pretty obvious that they definitely took a lot of inspiration from PoE when they made Diablo 4, and they're also obviously trying to compete with PoE because PoE is like the biggest ARPG right now.
This is so amazing. Those two titles, they're so trolling each other all the time.
Yeah, and I think that we can definitely expect seasons being on the same like scale of PoE leagues, which I would say are something like 10 to 20 times as big as Diablo 3 seasons, like generally. So yeah, I would definitely expect somewhere along those lines, you know, like you're gonna get usually some kind of like content update or, you know, something like that. And then obviously like a huge balance change, maybe some new items, maybe, you know, some skill tweaks, etc. But it's just like way bigger than what we are used to. Like basically I would expect that, you know, like what we see in like 2 or 3 years of Diablo 3 seasons would be like 1 season in D4. So this is kind of like what I would go with right now.
I am, you know, I do understand it all kind of on paper. I understand it in general. New mechanics, new balance changes, new, like everything, new theme. I understand it on paper, but it's really, really hard for me to actually see this in the Diablo world.
Yeah, okay, so basically, if you can imagine, for example, let's say these events that you see in dungeons, right, in Diablo 4. So you have like these random side events, and imagine they just add like, other types of events like that you can find randomly, and out in the world or also in dungeons or something, and this becomes like, down the line, it becomes like some actual game feature, right? So after the season ends, maybe they're gonna tweak it a bit and they're gonna keep it in the game and they keep expanding on the game. So this is kind of how that works in Diablo, in PoE. And I also expected this will be similar in D4 with like, them just kind of like building on the game with new stuff over time.
And Battle Pass transmogs.
Yeah, I will certainly not buy the Battle Pass.
You're not? You're not buying the Battle Pass?
Okay, I mean, I was forced to buy the first one because I want the early access. But yeah, outside of that,
careful
probably
listening.
not.
You're not buying the Battle Pass.
No, I'm not planning to buy Battle Pass or anything like that. Yeah, I'm not the type of guy for that.
Can you be seduced? Wait, actually, a lot of. I was really surprised, but a lot of guys were telling me that it's important how your character look. You need a transmog. You need to. Are you spending? Have you ever spent money on transmogs, just pure transmogs in different games?
No. So I've played a lot of Path of Exile, like for I don't know how many years now. I did spend some money, but this was like specifically given to me by like my viewers telling me to buy a certain thing. So they really wanted me to have something.
Come on, you can't look so ugly. Your character can't look so ugly. Oh, just buy it.
Yeah, exactly. So this has happened a few times. So I have some things, but very, very little. And like for my own free will, I've never bought anything. Like I'm just not really, I don't care really. Like my character can look like trash. And honestly, in Diablo 4, it's pretty hard to look like trash. Like I think the base transmogs are already really good, so I don't really have anything to worry about, I believe. And also like there's going to be the PvP transmogs. So once I've collected everyone's ears, I'm going to be fine.
Oh, we will see. We will see.
Apparently, the druid transmogs are pretty bad. I hear from chat.
They're awesome. Life of the PvP Red Dust transmog.
Yeah, I'm actually quite excited to see them. I hope they're gonna be badass.
I have absolutely zero doubts, just because even the base ones, even the base that they gave to as just what you are getting from the game, regular things, they're so insane. What they will be selling there in the shop, wow.
Yeah, I imagine they're gonna have really cool stuff, and I don't really want to like downplay it or something. Like I think they're making pretty good stuff with the transmogs, and a lot of people will be happy to buy some cosmetics here and there and look really cool. But again, for me personally, this is nothing that. It's just not really a business model that works for me, basically. So I know it works for other people. It doesn't work for me. It's not about that I don't want to support Blizzard for the game or whatever. I just don't care about the transmogs. So.
We should kick him. By the way, you can say a lot of things about Diablo Immortal, but transmogs that they were doing, transmogs were absolutely insane. And in Diablo Immortal, they were doing portal animation. Damn it, that was good. If not Woody, then maybe they would actually keep the monetization version that you're just selling the cosmetics in the game, not selling the goddamn gems. But then Woody came and said that this monetization model is not working for me. And that's why they added also all the power. Really horrible.
Yeah, it's definitely my fault, yeah.
Clearly.
The pay to win only happened because of people like me. Yeah.
Thank you so much once again. Okay, let's finish it with a question from chat.
We can answer some questions from chat maybe.
Yeah, guys, so drop some questions in chat. Question. Would you support a faction, Inarius Heaven faction, against the faction of Hell, so Lilith faction, massive PvP, 250 against 200, so clan versus, no, clans 150. So 250 people against 250 people for a seasonal theme. Massive PvP fight.
Oh my god.
I am all for this, but we even started this conversation with Woody originally in chat, and Woody said like, "Phew, this is too MMO." No.
I mean, the idea sounds kind of fun on paper, but realistically, I don't think that the game engine will be able to handle that. So, I think they have like 4-player parties for a reason, and we've seen like lags and these kind of problems in Diablo 3 already. So like 250 versus 250 sounds like an absolute, clown fiesta that probably just lags everything to death anyway. But yeah, if you like go around those technical limitations,
Dying
even then, I
lads.
don't think it would be very fun. Like it would just be like like a complete Zerg fest basically. So maybe this has to be like some kind of like special game mode where you have like multiple teams going against each other or something. That could be interesting. Yeah, some faction stuff would definitely be interesting if they could like choose one side and could make maybe some bonuses or so, and actually do some certain quests or objectives or even PvP fights. That could be fun.
That would be really, really cool. Some structure for PvP, some not just. No, right now it's like an open area, but some structure for some actually tournaments, maybe PvP tournaments
Yeah,
with
yeah.
entrances,
I
stuff
think one
like
thing they
this.
definitely should introduce in the 4 and PvP is maybe not like this structured arena PvP, but at least some way to kind of like have like a kind of like an even playing ground if you want to, right? So some dueling, for example, like we know it in WoW, where you can like just 1v1 others, or even like multi like in groups, like group duels or something. That could be fun as well without any outside influence, basically. It doesn't have to be like a structured like separate game mode or something like that, but at least something that people can use would be nice. Like right now, I wouldn't even know how I would actually be able to fight a certain person if I want to, right? If like someone comes to my chat and says, "Hey, 1v1 me," and I say, "Okay," like I have no clue how I would go about that. I can invite it to my party, and then we're in the party, okay, and then we drop the party, and then are we gonna stay in the same instance? Can we actually see each other or not? Like, who knows? So I think
Who
that's the
gonna go?
problem.
Who gonna run around? You're fighting each other
Yeah.
1 versus 1. There are 3 people running around at this point.
Yeah, that as well, yes. So
No, I get it absolutely. I want some structured system for world bosses as well. I want to be able to somehow organize world boss raid, 12 people, invite all 12. This is my realm, this is my clan. We all with the clan mates, we're going to fight the world boss right now, and there are no weird people around. Pretty
yeah, would be
much.
fun, but I think they also want to try to not make it like too much like a real MMO where you
Yeah,
have to do this
absolutely.
organized
Absolutely.
12-player group to have a chance even or something, right? So because realistically, if you do this, then this content is going to become super easy, and in order to fight against that, they have to like make it harder, and then it will be only for coordinated teams and no one else. So that's a bit of a problem that happens there, I guess.
Actually, good point. I have actually a
Yeah,
cool
but
question in chat. What question would you like Riker to ask tomorrow in the interview?
oh. I'm sure he has like his own list of questions already. I mean, I would just be curious to hear more about their thoughts with the competitive side of the game in general. Like, what's the philosophy? What they're trying to do with like what we talked about earlier with leaderboards. Because we have very little information about that. We also don't really know like how they tick basically. So that would be cool, I think.
Hopefully, it should be the talk about the end game, so hopefully they will share something a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. I think the topic is also like some endgame stuff, I believe, tomorrow, right?
Yep, exactly. And this
Yeah.
is a huge part of the end game, so hopefully, yeah, there will be something, they will share something. And the big, big update announcement that no one is expecting, but it will be there.
Yeah, so let's see what the announcement will be. Chat is saying, I'm prepping for the surprise announcement that there's another early access beta weekend this weekend.
A lot of people saying that. Oh my gosh, there will be one more beta. There will be one more beta in May. There will be guys. There will be no one more beta in May. It will not happen. I'm busy. No.
I mean, it would be pretty cool actually to play it again. I'm not sure like if it would be like as big as like the first beta and stuff, but maybe they're gonna add something new to it or so. It could be cool.
It of course could be cool, but I don't think that it's like from the from the game right now marketing point of view. It doesn't make sense right now to have in May one more beta.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, if it's like not open, but it's like early access, paid, then maybe it would be not
Yeah,
so bad.
yeah. Then yeah, but we'll see. Thank you so much.
Okay, yeah, it was nice. And
Have an
well, I guess
amazing.